ここまでで何か質問は？
何カップですか？
G だ。
Yo, welcome. So today's rant will be on, like, what I think as a niche anime, Deadman Wonderland, and it's something that's, like, just been collecting dust in my Crunchyroll watch list for the longest, so I was like, shit, let's see what it's about. But, as usual, let's move on to our episode 1 yap, and not gonna lie, this one is low-key wild. Alright, so off the jump we meet Ganta Igarashi, our MC, just chilling in his middle school homeroom when his friends trickle in one at a time, starting with Shido and then Yamakatsu, who seem chill and you can tell they go way back as friends, wholesome stuff for real, but after the yap on a certain incident called the Red Hole that occurred in Tokyo, but it was like 10 years ago, so it's in the past. But from Ganta we also learned there's an amusement park named Deadman Wonderland also within Japan, which is where they happen to be taking their school trip. But as the class settles in after their yapping, Ganta noticed a man floating outside
All the niggas you and your little motherfucking minions done plotted on in between. Tiana, Khadijah, Lenny, Carvel, him, her, him, bodies!
So this red mask dude just wipes everyone out except for Ganta, who's like, they're just a sole survivor, but that's not even the end of it, because like this red mask dude is still holding Shido's head and then tosses it at Ganta to fuck with him. And transplants this crystal into his chest if that wasn't enough, but Buddy passes out finally. So Ganta wakes up confused in a hospital when he's immediately apprehended and then accused of the murder of every single person that just happened, which we literally saw that maniac do, but nothing can be done, and his lawyer just seems like ass, making him look horrible in front of everyone within the court, so I'm already knowing this dude's sketchy. But now finally Deadman Wonderland is in sight, and I guess Ganta did get his wish for the field trip flap after all. But now we also meet Shido, who has a completely different look, and I'm just a little confused in the moment. So yeah, she's got vocals is all I can really say at the moment. Inside the park now, Ganta is getting a rundown of the place by the chief warden, Miss Machina, and fun fact, her cup size happens to be G's. But now for something less important than that, which is her explanation of the rules here, starting with how this place is privatized, well secured, and most importantly, they operate due to the funds that they make from these prisoner shows and attractions, and they are all held down by this collar with a lot of countermeasures to ensure they can stay well behaved and not try to escape. But in between her speech, she murks a dude for no reason, with no hesitation, just for stealing something small. And he's not dead, but bro's dead damn near. But maybe she's insane, but I may fall in love with it. But we also see that sketched out lawyer here as well, and with his convo with Machina, I get the vibe that he set all this up low key, not feeling him at all. But unword a little, cause I'm yapping. So now Ganta and Shido meet and bond a little before this giant ball starts to topple down, which was a trap, but it was supposed to crush him and Shido, but he activates an ability of sorts that I'm finna call blood manipulation, and destroys the boulder easily, saving the both of them. And last, but we also see the main feature of those collars, which is a time poison that kills them without what's known as candy, so some kind of antidote I'm assuming, but all in all, episode 1, it was great. I love the opening, the ending is nice, and it sets a good tone for the story, but let's see how the rest of this is. Alright, now onto the true games within the real confinements of Deadman Wonderland. And to start, that weak-ass lawyer is the real mastermind of what's known as G-Block, which is out of Machina's jurisdiction, but that's probably for the best, because the inmates here are way more dangerous, and the reason for that is they all hold unique blood powers, which are the branches of sin. So just like Ganta, but unlike him, these prisoners are actually convicted dead men, way more insane than the others above, and they love participating in these death games that their lawyer holds for a whole bunch of anonymous bidders to watch. So with that, I low-key want to go over 2 specific characters that Ganta was forced to participate against in these games. Mr. Shinji, whom I low-key really love and is by far my favorite character in the anime, and that crazy Huz, who I low-key forgot the name of at the moment, but let's get to it. Alright, first, Mrs. Senji, or Senji Kiyomasa is codenamed the Crow, which is so tough in my opinion. And his branch of sin is to create giant claws from his, forearms, basically. But he's been down here for a good while by my guess, so he's extremely skilled and dangerous, and he loves to fight as well, so, full glaze to him. He reminds me of JJK with blood manipulation, but, I mean, everyone kinda does, low-key, lol. But him and Gonta end up fighting, and man, I hate plot armor, because, how does he even lose to this kid who just learned how to use his powers? And I know he's holding back against him, but a little ass kid. But he ends up respecting Gonta and even daps him up at the end, so I'm at least glad bro didn't die, but he did have to pay. Kakashi Sensei reference. Next up though is one crazy ass Huz Minatsuki Takami, or better known as the Hummingbird. So low-key I hated her ass at first because she was just toying with Gonta with a sweet and innocent appearance, but he later finds out that she's the next opponent in the games, and she just immediately switches up in the ring straight yonder, and her hair is like blood whips, and they're pretty whack but very fast, and that's her branch of sin. And she had already been scheming this since they had met to beat him, but Gonta wins this too, and she has a change of heart after her brother Yo, who got sliced in the beginning, and I haven't spoken on him too much, but I really don't care about him too much. But he convinces her to relax a little because she's messed up, but that's also the thing. Everyone down here is messed up, but they're just trapped by this fucking lawyer and are forced to fight. So the Loki all deserve some sympathy, but yeah, she starts acting slightly nicer towards Gonta and becomes another ally of his, low-key. Alright, so I want to be honest and say, I wasn't really interested past the points that I've already spoken on and went over. The anime, I hate to say it, but it's kind of mid. I like Mr. Senji, the Hummingbird, Gonta, and Shido, because, they were way more fleshed out in this shorter anime, but the pacing and other characters besides Fire and Makima were, low-key buns. I know I haven't spoken on Nagi either, but, he seems so weak till the very end, and all of a sudden, the budget was just for sure thrown at the last episode. Great animation, I won't lie, but, I mean, no one else was even remotely interesting to me, and I've even forgotten their names, and I really had a hard time coming up with, a script to speak on without sounding so uninterested. So before I wrap this up, I do want to say that, I've been told the manga is really a lot better, because this anime was really rushed, especially the ending, so I'm gonna check it out after I read the new chapters emoji though. So I still have faith I can enjoy the story of Deadman Wonderland, just not in the anime form, I won't lie. So now to wrap this yap up, if you enjoyed the video, and maybe even sub up, and leave a comment too on your thoughts on Deadman Wonderland as a whole. And I also would still recommend it to y'all because the experience is definitely a little better than my speaking on it, because I'm kind of rushing it since I really didn't enjoy the ending. But it had a great start but a fast end. But yap, I'll do better on the next video, I promise. But till then, I'll see you.